It's becoming an all too familiar story. GP surgeries unable to recruit and retain doctors and other staff. Today, over 6,000 patients at one practice in Reading learned their struggling surgery is to be closed next month, leaving them just weeks to find and register with a new GP. Now, for many, it will mean much further to travel, as Alan Sinclair explains.
It's just over 18 months now since the private company, the One Medical Group, took over the running of this Reading NHS GP surgery. It hasn't gone well. During that time, they've struggled to recruit and retain GPs and other staff. Inspections and reports have highlighted serious concerns with the way this surgery was being run. Today, patients have been informed by letter that their failing surgery will be closed down altogether. It's come as a shock.
Absolutely devastated. Been a patient there for over 70 years and seeing it grow, it's just heartbreaking.
The surgery's own patient participation group now has the task of helping more than 6,000 people to find and register with one of the other surgeries in the area.
Patients were aware that the Care Quality Commission had many concerns. I don't think people were anticipating a closure. They were anticipating more likely a takeover of some type.
The NHS body in overall charge of GP practices in the town says closure was its last resort.
Patients aren't seeing the same doctors, so they feel unhappy about it. Complaints start coming through, so then it's hard to recruit doctors because of that situation, and then you're reliant on still locum doctors, and it becomes a sort of a cascade.
Surgeries across the south are experiencing similar problems. Too few GPs to meet growing demand. And it's an issue discussed today at the highest level.
GPs are the bedrock of the NHS. We need more of them.
We are indeed committed to delivering 5,000 more GPs.
Practices are struggling to be able to recruit new GPs when an older GP retires, and to be able to maintain the service to their patients is becoming increasingly difficult.
The One Medical Group today says it will continue to operate this surgery as normal until its contract comes to its early end on June the 30th. Meanwhile, the NHS says it will do all it can to smooth the transition for patients, especially the vulnerable and the terminally ill, who it acknowledges will be most affected by this abrupt closure. Alan Sinclair, BBC South Today in Reading.